make the most positive choice every time. And I think we sort of touched on this a little bit with the
Right.
comedy off the top. And so I won't dwell on this too much. But we do end up committing ourselves to the negative choice a lot of the time, and because as we talked about off the top of this, the negative is written down, it's
It's
on the
always written.
page, and it's our
Yeah.
job to find them. Yeah, it's always written. And it's our job to find the positive, and the more you focus on finding that love or that positivity, the more your scene will light up, and like you'll naturally find the humor, you will naturally find the opposites, you'll naturally find the mischief if you just focus on playing the positive.
Right. Yeah, and I
Yep.
mean, I think that's life too. Is like watch the news, listen to people gossip, listen to people complain. It's like there's so much negativity. So you can be a huge beacon
Mhm.
of light, and you can be an outlier and be someone who stands above the crowd just by finding the positivity. And the other thing too is if 95% of the actors are doing it as written and reading negative words and thinking, oh, okay, this guy's pissed off and this is an argument and it's all negative, just a gross argument and no love and no positivity in it. And then they watch 50 people or 100 people do that, and then there's 5 people that find some love and find some humor. Those people naturally are just going to rise to the top. So
Mhm.
yeah, find the positive. There's one here that is all extraneous movement is bleeding energy. And that's something that, I mean, especially in film, but it applies to theater as well. Like things like whether it's facial stuff, or a lot of times people don't trust that they're enough. So on certain words and lines, they're pushing forward with them, or people doing the hands, or always pointing, or shoulder shrugs as they're talking, all these little things that distract the audience and actually take away from the story. And that also ties into something that he often says, you can't what is it, you uh what's the Amy, or it's like you can't hit a moving love
Oh,
and
you
success.
love.
Love
Yeah.
and success can't hit a moving target. So
Mhm.
if I'm constantly doing this in a scene or rocking back and forth like this, and I'm too frenetic in my energy, um, Shakespeare talks about it in Hamlet's advice to the players as well, like sawing the air thus. It's like suit the action to the word and the word to the action, and everything else is extraneous. And a lot of people think like, oh, this is what I got to be dynamic speaker, so I got to talk like this, or eyebrows is one that I'm guilty of, and a lot of people at shoulder shrugs, or it's
Mhm.
just kind of dancing feet, and all that takes away from the story. And he often says as well, aim your heart at the heart you want to reach as
Mhm.
well. So and inviting the audience in. So there's huge power, especially in TV and film. Like in TV and film, if you're in a nice close up, I can't be doing this, and I can't be having a hand pop out of nowhere that's disconnected. Like that's so weird. So you got to get comfortable, and that's that. In conservatory, that was a note that I got a handful of times where I was quote unquote trying, which is also a swear words. I was trying to do too much when I was in a tight frame, when all I needed to do was just sit there and just be a human being and let people see me as a, see, I did it right there. It's like you can't do that. It's like, where are those hands coming from? So just the idea of stillness, which really, that extraneous movement, what really helps with that is relaxation, doing those voice and speech warm ups, taking classes like Alexander technique and Linklater technique, so that you are fully relaxed. And another one, we're sort of, I'll tie in some other of his Todorov isms to this. He'll also say, um, tension, um, tension draws attention. So if I'm doing this all the time, or if I've got something weird going on with my eyebrows, or with my face, then people are watching that and noticing that, and whether that's the audience or the production team and casting. If casting is seeing you do this all the time, the split second that took them out of it is the split second that they missed the most impactful moment of the scene potentially. So it all it's all extraneous that takes away from the story.